Recently, I made some changes to my network, and in doing so, I lost access to all of my servers in my home lab because I didn't have them set up for static IPs. I was using DHCP reservations, and I moved away from that. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set a static IP address on your Ubuntu server. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up everybody? Like I said in the intro, today we are going to set a static IP address on an Ubuntu server. So the first thing we want to do is we need to figure out what the IP address is of the server. Originally, I had all of my virtual machines in Proxmox set up for DHCP reservations. I recently moved away from that and went over to static IPs, and now I lost access to all my servers like I said. So to find the address of your server, there's a couple things you can do. If you have set up pass-through, so we're going to do today is my server called Fury. If you've set up pass-through of your IPs, your guest agent, as you can see with Thor, I do not have that set up, but with Fury, I do. We can see that my address is 192.168.50.51. If you don't have that set up here, what you can do is go into your DHCP server. Most likely that's probably on your router, and take a look and find the server listed in the IP range. So as I said, mine's 50.51. What we need to do is we need to SSH into that server. Go ahead and fire up your favorite terminal software and connect into your server. My favorite SSH client is called Tabby. I am logged into the server, and what we need to do is we need to tweak some settings to network files. So the first thing we need to do is let's go ahead and set the IP address, just in case when we disable DHCP, we want to make sure it has an address and we'll be able to log into it. We're going to go ahead and run IPA, and that's going to show us more information about our network card. So IP space A. And what we want to do, we'll scroll up a little bit here, and we want to find our Ethernet adapter. So if we go to, we know our IP address is .51. So we want to find that. And then here we are right here. And we want to make note of the Ethernet adapter name. So in this case, it's ETH0. And remember that, copy it down. That's what we're going to want to work with. Next, we want to go into the netplan directory. So we'll go cd/etc/netplan. We'll do an ls, take a look. You can see we have a file in there called 50cloudinit.yaml. We're not going to monkey with that just yet. What we want to do here is we need to create the configuration file for our static IP address. So we'll go sudo nano, and the file needs to be called 01/netcfg.yaml. And what we need to do is we need to paste a bunch of stuff into here. And I'll put a link in the description below to my website where you can copy all of this and paste it in and tweak it for everything you need. So you don't really have to worry about this. So I'm going to paste it in here. You want to make sure you keep the right indentation because it is a YAML file. And what this is going to do, the biggest things is here where it says ETH0, you're going to put whatever your network card name was when we looked it up a little bit ago. DHCP4 is no. And then here's where you assign the IP address, the static address you want to your server. Add in your gateway, any name servers you might have, and then we'll do Control X, and then we'll do yes to save, and then enter. And that is going to create that. Let me just make sure that we have it. So we'll go ls, and you can see, there we go. We have the 01 netconfig.yaml. That's what we want. All right, so now we cleared the screen there. We should be good to go on having our static IP address. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and reboot the server, and we'll see if it has the static.
A few moments later.
Now that the server is rebooted, let's take a look in Proxmox for more information about the IP. What a Fury. And then you can see here we have .18, which we just set. Perfect. But we still have the .51. What I also want to make sure is to see if we can actually ping that address. So let's go ahead and ping 192.168.50.18. Cool, we get a ping from it, so the address is live now. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. What we don't want is it to have both addresses, so we need to get rid of the DHCP server address. Go ahead and log back into your server with your SSH client. If your Ubuntu server is initialized with Cloud Init, you will need to go and do this step. If not, you can go ahead and skip it. If you do it and you didn't need it, you'll reboot and you'll find that possibly your server has no IP address. And what you'll have to do then is try to get into it via the console if you can. So if it is provisioned with Cloud Init, do this step. If it is not, you can go ahead and skip this step. Now we need to disable the network for the cloud config. So we'll go into the directory. So cd/etc/cloud. We'll see what's in here. Cloudconfig.d is the one we want. So we'll cd into that. What we want to do here is create a new file. So we'll go sudo nano, and then we'll do the name of the file. Again, I'll put this on my documentation website, but it's 99-disable-network-config.cfg. We'll open that up, and we need to paste this information at the very top. Network config disabled. And we'll go ahead and do Control X and save it. And that'll be on my website as well. Just take a look in the description. I'll link it over there to the website. Clear our screen. And then finally, what we need to do is we need to go back into that netplan folder, and we need to disable one file. So let's go cd/etc/netplan. Now that we're here in the folder, let's go ahead and do an ls, see what we have. And it's this 50 cloud init file that we need to remove, or in this case, we're just going to rename it. So we'll go sudo move and then 50 tab, and then we need to do a file name for it. So we'll do 50 tab again, and then just do a .bak. So we'll back up. And there we go. We now see we have that cloud init file all created and moved to a different file name. So it's not gonna work and be loaded by the system. Let's go ahead and reboot one more time. And then we'll see if we just have the static now with no DHCP address. Now that our server has rebooted, we can take a look here in Fury, and we see now it only has that 50.18 IP address, and that's exactly what we wanted. We'll go ahead and SSH into it and make sure everything works. And here we are SSH'd into our server with the correct IP address. If we scroll up and take a look at the ETH0, which is the name of that network card, we see our IP address right here, 50.18, and we no longer see our DHCP server. That is exactly what we wanted. And there you go. That's how you set a static IP address on your Ubuntu server. Let me know in the comments below if this helped you out, or if you have a different way of doing it via command line. I'd love to hear that as well. And don't forget, I'll put a link in the description below of where you can get everything to copy and paste into your server off of my documentation site. Real quick before I go, I want to thank everybody in the community, whether you're on YouTube, Discord, or Twitch. I really do appreciate you being here. I will be spinning up the Havoc Club very soon, so make sure you're following and stick around for more information about that. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, and keep doing good.